Well, the FTX saga is continuing to unravel, and things are getting very interesting. How did Sam Bankman screw up so badly? Was this pre-planned to obliterate the crypto markets? Was Sam a government mole? Well, get ready to have your mind blown, because it's time for Chico Crypto. Everyone should know FTX and Sam Bankman were big players in the crypto markets, but many don't realize how deep they were. I posted this video a couple months ago that revealed how deep FTX was in regards to the blood of the crypto markets, Tether USDT. A focus of that video was a September article a Data Innovation put out, and it's fantastic research. But it's titled USDT on Tron, FTX and WTF is really happening. And the article states, FTX and Alameda minted nearly all the USDT on Tron and operated as something like a central bank or reserve manager for a shadow East Asian USD payment system. We provide convincing evidence from novel on-chain analysis that shows how a real, albeit mostly not kosher, crypto use case works. This data also makes plain that Binance and Cumberland runs the Ethereum part of the same ecosystem, and that these two groups of parties probably coordinate their actions in some way. Sam Bankman and FTX were the operators of USDT on Tron, which worked as a shadow East Asian payment system. Binance is the operator of the Ethereum part of this ecosystem, and the two groups, FTX and Binance, coordinate their actions. So FTX was the supporter of USDT on Tron. Now, why do you think Justin Sun, founder of Tron, is planning a bailout for FTX? Bloomberg posted this video just last week. Tron prepared to provide FTX with billions in aid, says Sun. Now let's listen in.
Justin, can you give us some clarity on how much you're prepared to spend? Does Tron have the balance sheet to do a potential full takeover if it comes to that? And will you personally be investing any of your own funds in this?
Yes, I think definitely all of this is on the table. But right now, I think the most important thing is still we need to do a full due diligence, and at the same time to evaluate the situation, to have a full picture of like what's going on, like how serious is the liquidity crunch. So basically, once we get the full picture, I think we will start to making moves.
And then there were leaked messages from SBF to employees on their Slack channel. And this is what Sam said. For the next week, we will be conducting a raise. The raise may end up being a combined FTX International and FTX US infusion, but I don't want to be overconfident there. As one part of the potential above raise, we have had talks with Justin Sun. Details forthcoming there. So obviously, FTX has its company operations deep within the crypto markets. And if it gets uncovered what was actually going on, regulators are going to bring the hammer down on crypto. And those regulators are already thinking about it. Senator Elizabeth Warren first tweeted this last week. The collapse of one of the largest crypto platforms shows how much of the industry appears to be smoke and mirrors. We need more aggressive enforcement, and I'm going to keep pushing the SEC to enforce the law to protect consumers and financial stability. Then she tweeted, the implosion of FTX must be a wake-up call for Congress and financial regulators to hold this industry and its executives accountable. Too much of the crypto industry is smoke and mirrors. It's time for stronger rules and stronger enforcement to protect ordinary people. Now here is where things get oh so interesting. Sam Bankman and family have many direct ties to the U.S. Democratic Party, including Senator Warren and even the SEC. So let's begin with Senator Warren, who has been tweeting about regulation due to the FTX implosion. In 2016, Warren put out a bill on taxes, specifically aimed at simplifying the process. Now guess who has put out a research article on exactly this? Joseph Bankman, professor at Stanford Law School. Then, going to Wikipedia on Sam Bankman, we can see it says this. Bankman-Fried was born in '92 on the campus of Stanford University into a family of academics. Born and raised to an upper middle-class family in California, he is the son of Barbara Fried and Joseph Bankman, both professors at Stanford Law School. Yep, Joseph Bankman of Stanford Law is Sam's father. I wonder if Joe helped Senator Warren draft the legislation on taxes. Well, here is a 2016 letter from the supporters and contributors to the bill, and guess who is listed numero uno? Joe Bankman of Stanford Law. Joe Bankman has direct ties to Senator Warren, who is now calling for regulation. Something smells really stinky, and I'm not talking that chain link stink. And this is what reeks to me. Stanford was most likely invested in FTX through a VC. Paradigm, a large crypto VC fund, has their portfolio of companies on their website. As we can see, both FTX and FTX US were inside their portfolio. Guess who backed Paradigm? Well, from this 2020 article on the founders of Paradigm, Matt Hoying and Fred Ursum, we can figure it out. The title really gives it away, but from the article we can see it says, combining mainstream pedigrees and pioneering crypto cred, Ursum and Huang convinced top institutional investors like Harvard and Stanford to give them $750 million to invest in a market they were too blue-blooded to touch directly. And lower down in the article it says, by October 2018, 3 of the highest profile endowments, Harvard, Stanford, and Yale, had joined Sequoia in investing in the mysterious new firm, their first major forays into backing a crypto-focused fund, which was Paradigm. So, FTX and Bankman are connected to Elizabeth Warren, Democrat. California's most progressive college, Stanford, may have been indirectly invested in FTX. So now how are the Bankmans tied to the Democratic SEC? Well, prominent U.S. House of Representatives member Tom Emmer tweeted this November 10th. Interesting, Gary Gensler, chair of the SEC, runs to the media while reports to my office allege he was helping SBF and FTX work on legal loopholes to obtain a regulatory monopoly. We're looking into this. So let's look. Here is a leaked email from Amanda Fisher, senior counsel to Gary Gensler. We can see it says, on March 23, 2022, members of the staff of Chair Gensler met with the staff of IEX and FTX to discuss custody of digital asset securities by special purpose broker-dealers, including the unique risks associated with custody of digital asset securities and the conditional no-action relief discussed in the statement. Do you know what no-action relief is? Well, from this article from the SEC, we can see it says, no action relief is a mechanism that allows registrants to obtain certain assurances when their conduct may touch upon a gray area of regulation, or even may be technically proscribed, but does not raise the policy concerns underlying a particular rule. It is designed to give market participants comfort in continuing a particular course of conduct in areas where clarity is lacking or participants face potentially conflicting requirements. Basically, this was FTX in talks with the SEC to get no action relief. It means if FTX did something bad in a gray zone of regulation, while technically against the SEC's rules, they wouldn't come after them. But the connections to the SEC get even deeper. Glenn Ellison is a professor of economics at MIT and is also the department's head. He was the boss of the economics department of MIT. Why am I bringing up this guy? Well, from this SEC bio on Gary Gensler, we can see before joining the SEC, Gary was a professor at MIT. Says before joining the SEC, Gensler was professor of the practice of global economics and management at the MIT Sloan School of Management, co-director of MIT's FinTech at Sea Sale, and senior advisor to the MIT Media Lab Digital Currency Initiative. Glenn Ellison used to be Gary's boss. So what, Tyler? What is the importance of that? Well, guess who is Glenn Ellison's daughter? From this Wikipedia article on Caroline Ellison, we can see she is the daughter of Glenn Ellison, professor of economics at MIT. From the top of the wiki page, Caroline Ellison is an American business executive. She is the CEO of Alameda Research, a quantitative trading firm founded by Sam Bankman-Fried. And Caroline dated Sam Bankman. From this CoinDesk article about the debacle, it says, that includes Alameda CEO Caroline Ellison, whose firm played a central role in the company's collapse, and who, at times, has dated Bankman-Fried, according to people familiar with the matter. So Sam Bankman and FTX are connected to the Democratic SEC through Sam himself and also his girlfriend Caroline. Sam and FTX are connected to powerful Democratic Senator Warren through his father. Do the connections stop there? Of course they don't. If you didn't know, SBF was a major political donor. He donated the second largest amount to Joe Biden's campaign and was the fourth largest in the 2022 midterms, spending over $40 million to help the Democrats. But he wasn't the only one in the family raising funds. Remember, Sam's mom is also a Stanford Law School professor. Here is Barbara Fried's profile. So how is Barbara connected politically? Well, from this article, inside the secretive Silicon Valley group that has funneled over $20 million to Democrats, we can figure it out. The article states, a secretive group led by Stanford University academics has unleashed millions of dollars in political spending from Silicon Valley. The group operates in a cone of secrecy, often exhorting its donors to keep their information secure. It has no website or presence on social media, and its leaders don't mention their involvement in their professional biographies on sites like LinkedIn. So who is the leader? Well, I'm sure you can guess, but Barbara Fried. The article says the group's leaders are a pair of Stanford law professors, one of which is Barbara Fried. And here's where things get really oh so sticky. SBF was a major supporter of a certain crypto bill. Here is him promoting the Stabenow-Boozman bill. This bill is formally called the Digital Commodities Consumer Protection Act of 2022, and the bill has been highly criticized as killing decentralization in the crypto industry and giving all the power to centralized entities. And there were rumors going around that FTX was helping to fund it. Well, those behind the bill are still pushing it, putting out a statement. Co-author of the bill, John Boozman, said, the events that have transpired this week reinforce the clear need for greater federal oversight of the digital asset industry. Chairwoman Stabenow and I remain committed to advancing a final version of the DCCPA. So I don't know about you guys, but what it looks like to me, Sam was directed to infiltrate the crypto markets with a mission. Make as much money as possible to support political interests. Learn as much as possible to have evidence on the big players, and to destroy as much as possible for regulators to have a reason to pass laws, which puts the power back in centralized hands. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. Cheers. I'll see you next time.